Welcome to the Just Music Podcast. I'm your host, Jalen,
I'm your other host, Marco.
and this is episode 80. Wow, 80 episodes. And we got a very, very special guest for you all. He's a friend of the podcast. He did, when we had our Just Music Tiny Desk a couple years ago, I think that was fall. Yeah, that was fall 2021. He was a performer. He's a guitarist. He's an artist. He's a producer. And I've had the pleasure to, get to know him and be a colleague of his. Mon Floral, how you doing, man?
I am good. It is an absolute pleasure to be on the show. So thank you for having me. I love what you and Marco have been doing on the show. You guys are absolutely killing it. So I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, man, we're glad to have you, bro. We've been wanting you on the podcast for a while now, really ever since the Tiny Desk, which we'll talk about a little bit. But yeah, ever since then. But we're glad we finally got it together, man, because like Marco and I, we really do prioritize supporting independent artists, local artists in general. So we're glad to have you on, man. So let's get into it, man. Talk about you, where you're from, what got you into music, how long you've been playing guitar.
Of course. So my recording name is Mon Floral. Actual name is Imari. I always thought it was interesting to have my name as my stage name, so I wanted to change it up. But I started playing guitar when I was around 10 years old, and I got it for my 10th birthday. And that was kind of my introduction to like playing an instrument. So from there, 10 years old, I would study any CDs I could get my hands on, any music CDs, YouTube, just anything to learn and just get better at the instrument. And from there, my mom, she kind of like saw the excitement I had with the instrument. She's like, "Do you want to take guitar lessons?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." So by the age of 14, I started taking guitar lessons. I did that probably for about 4 or 5 years. And from there, after I stopped, I just started learning how to produce and just make my own stuff. I never liked having to rely on people. And I also never had friends that I could be in bands with. So being able to do as many things as I could was really important for me. So between learning the instrument and then producing and then like spicing it up by learning how to sing and getting vocals right, that's just kind of what made my process unique to me. And from there, we've just been growing, steadily putting out music and just doing the best I can to honestly just be as good as I possibly can. That's kind of my goal.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, bro. So you've been playing guitar since you was 10, right?
10 years old. So I'm 22. So that's 12 years. And I'm
Yeah.
from Colombia too. Also, I missed that question, but I was born and raised in Colombia, went to school, CFC. That's where we met, Charleston. And from there, moved to Atlanta about a year ago and just steady grinding.
Yeah. Shout out to Columbia, South Carolina. That's only an hour away from my hometown, Florence. So but yeah, man, that's really cool, bro, that you started playing guitar at 10 years old. Have you ever had people say like you must have been playing guitar since you were 6 years old? Because like you're very skilled at the guitar and like you study it. And like I guess sometimes when people see musicians that are very good at their instrument, they think, oh, they've been playing that since they were like a kid, like ever since they came out the womb.
The thing that's special with me is that my entire family has like a bit of music backbone. So my dad used to rap like back in his time ages ago. And then my mom and her family, they all sing. But the thing is, no one in my family played an instrument. I've never seen anyone play an instrument until I got a guitar. I was the first person I'd ever even seen in person play a guitar. So people think that I've been playing it for a while, but honestly, from getting it and then just learning how to do it, everything just kind of came natural. And I don't want to say it was easy because I definitely put in a lot of work, a lot of practice to get where I am. But it's like when I'm in the studio and I'm playing the guitar, I'm just in the zone. Like I'm not thinking about a thing. I'm just making what I want to make. And it just comes out as a good final product. And honestly, like when people ask me, it's like, how do you do that? How do you structure your songs? It's like, honestly, the more thought I put into it, the worse it comes out.
Mm.
I just kind of do my thing and it just takes the road from there.
So very much in a creative flow, just free flowing.
That is it, man. That exactly.
Yeah, I think all of us on here can speak to that. With myself being a musician and Marco being a DJ, when you really commit yourself to your craft and study it, it gets to a point where you don't really have to think about it. I read this. I was reading this book It was either, I think it was The Compound Effect. It was either The Compound Effect or Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. I can't remember the author for Compound Effect. But anyway, I was reading it and it said, you should practice to the point where it becomes instinct. Because I'm like you, when I was teaching myself bass, like I spent hours on hours, days just practicing, just getting into it. And now like I can just pick up the bass and just start playing. Like I don't even have to think about like what I really want to do, or like it just a feeling, you know what I'm saying? Now, like, if there's a certain idea that I want to achieve, then yeah, I'll think about, okay, how do I want to approach this? But if I'm just, messing around, like just having fun, then yeah, it's just free flowing. I'm sure Marco, you can speak to that because I'm sure it's very similar for DJs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's gotten to the point where, I guess DJing is a little different with live instruments because there's so many different types of controllers out there, but it's all pretty much the same flow, same idea and everything. So now it's like, I've gotten to the point where I'm just comfortable. I could just hop on and just play my set and not have to worry about a thing. So yeah, I totally can agree with what you guys are saying. But I wanted to jump into the tiny desk where you performed. Because I remember you had your guitar and you had your amp and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're doing something like math rock. I remember it was something like that, right?
Yeah, I have I have issue with like actually trying to put it in a genre, but I guess math rock, progressive rock, modern rock, everything, it's kind of under that umbrella. But yeah, performing at that show, I really enjoyed it. That was the first time I actually sang in front of a crowd, because adding vocals to my music is it's a new thing. So it's something I'm still trying to like get the ropes of and kind of find how exactly I want to do it. But performing there, for me, it was awesome. I loved finally being able to match my vocals and play guitar as well as sing like live. So that was super exciting. And honestly, the feeling of that event was just awesome. I know you guys just had another successful one, but I can't wait to just be a part of that whole crowd again. Like the energy, the vibe, it was such good energy, good atmosphere.
Yeah, man. And to speak more on that to the listeners, if you're new to the JusMusic Podcast, in 2021, I think it was November, we put that show together. We had a tiny desk. We had got multiple performers together. Shout out to Imari, Missy Crawford, King Cutler, Kayshawn, just to name a few, and everybody else that was a participant, a performer in that event. And it was largely successful. And Imari, to talk about you, how your performance was very cool, because like you said, that was your first time singing. And your style of music is very chill, is very like laid back. Like I can like listen to your music if I'm driving or like I don't know, doing some business work or
Exactly. See, when I first started playing guitar, I had a looper pedal. So looper pedal was the first time that I had experience playing with myself. Because like I said, I wanted to be in a band, but I didn't have friends that played instruments to my capabilities, or really just people that I could go to easily, like that were easily accessible for me. So I would sit in my room all day. I mean, for so many hours after school and just write little loops. And speaking on the chill aspect, that's kind of like where it started. Everything I wrote was just chill. I just wanted like good feeling music, like nothing that was too over the top, nothing that had too many components to it, just something you could relax and lay back to. And now from there, I've kind of progressed my style into something that's a bit more matured and kind of has a blend of everything I like. But the root of it, like the essence of what I make is just chill music. Like that's just what I like. And I just like music that puts you in just a good headspace.
And speaking of that, man, you said how, your music has matured over time. I was listening to, would you call it your first album or your first EP? Welcome to the Neighborhood.
Welcome to the Neighborhood. It's not the first one, but it's probably one of my first albums that I put a good bit of work into, like between planning and and mastering and all of that.